So we're on our third wave of the chart over 3 days, almost one wave a day. It's been amazing. I'm really interested to know what you guys are feeling in the energy. So if you want to put some comments in about how you're perceiving the energy, I'd love to hear it. The Schumann resonance is, it's a measure of energy in the air around us in the non-physical is a good way to think of it. Just look at the air in front of you and know that there is that from the ground to the sky, up in the atmosphere, there are these resonances in the air, and they just so happen to be in the same range as human brain waves. Isn't that interesting? And so I kind of feel that, see, the resonances to me are, if I'm going to bring them into the human experience, if you ever played a musical instrument or you listen to a lot of music or classical music, when you get that moment in music where there's a lifted sense, and I compare it to, I used to play the violin, and when you're playing the violin, each string has what's called a harmonic. And it's like if I have this string here, you just hover. You don't even physically touch the string practically to play the harmonic. You're actually just hovering. It's really about energy affecting this string through the human body. Isn't that fascinating? And so it's like, like it just produces this like amazing tone for each string. That's how I view the Schumann resonances, the non-physical between 0 and 40. It's like the musical instrument of humanity. Now, are there machines or radio signals or submarine transmissions or whatever that could also be at this level, or lightning strikes? Yes. Okay. So let's just accept that. But we can't ignore, I don't think, the fact that 7.7 billion people have brain waves from 0 to 40 hertz, right? And that 7.7 billion people are generating an EM, electromagnetic field, as well. And from ascension symptoms and the idea of ascension symptoms, we know that these energies can affect the body and affect us in general, right? Affect our state of being. And so I think you can view the resonances from the perspective of our human experience. We can view that as like harmonics in the air, basically for our human experience, like lifted states of being within the slice of life, of human life, that the frequency ranges represent. Isn't that cool? Woo! One of my bosses, he used to call this rare air. We got some rare air here. It's almost like the white resonance waves are like harmonics for us to just groove on and just to delight in and just to experience and to just let that energy expand within the field, right? Within the human energy field, within the body, within our human experience. A couple of them in particular look like angel wings. And it's interesting because we had the left wing show recently, and on the Schumann chart, the first wave in the series, it's like the right wing. Isn't that interesting? What was showing to the left of the right wing, there was like almost like a little being of white and red resonance. And it's interesting because what I was saying is that from an intuitive perspective, interpreting the images as if they help to reveal a map of human consciousness, what I was saying the other day in my video was that the left wing was showing and the right wing wasn't there because the shadow on the right side was revealed. Well, now in the first image on the current chart, that angel wing on the left side had like a little kind of entity. And this is on the chart for July 11th. I've always said that on the left side is in the human body. That's where you can see any kind of possession presence in the eyes. And so I think that part of the shadow of our human experience is being revealed now. Truths are being revealed. So we see the entity in the first wave to the left of the first wave. And then in the next 2 waves, the top of the second wave looks like what I always called a lens, a white, white resonance lens. It's very round. And then it kind of goes into a knife shape, almost like, what do we want to cut out here from the whole that we are? Ooh, right? What do we want to remove from our lives now? I mean, this is an incredible time to do that. We're at the end of the full moon, which is completing, and we're just about to begin the new moon on July. It's July 17th at 11:31 Pacific time, AM. And so we can kind of look to, what do we want to move forward with, right? How do we want to have shifted our lives? And how do we want to do that on a personal level? How do we want to do that on a societal level? So that's how I'm interpreting that wave image. It's really cool. The wave that came onto the chart today, it also looks like a left wing, okay? And now it's really interesting because there's no right wing, right? We have to imagine that there would be a wing on the right side. And what is revealed to the right? It's kind of like a strange red energy. I could almost see something peeking out there, or maybe it's woundings, because there's quite a bit of red, right? Where the heart, behind the heart would be, right? That's where we experience a lot of our trauma and a lot of our woundings. And the other thing is there's kind of a rectangular structure there. And, maybe this is speaking to how life has been structured, you know? And the other thing I've been thinking about with all these waves on the chart is the idea of the bird with the broken wing, and that Keith Urban song keeps coming to me. He talks about, you're going to have a brand new life. He's basically found this bird with a broken wing, perhaps it's someone he's going to be in relationship with. I don't know. Maybe it's somebody he already knows. And he's talking about believing and you're going to fly, you were scared and all this stuff. He's talking to someone who is not in their power, and you could see him as encouraging them. But I just, thinking about the song, I always think about how it always seems like he is going to do something for that person in the song. Okay. And so this is a very disempowered way of being. Now, it's great to get help from your friends, but the act of living in victimhood, right? Or having power over by helping others. I'm talking about the white resonance waves on the chart now, and they almost look like angel wings. And the shape of the wing changed to where it's from a full wing to like a wing with sort of two large pieces. Now, could it be a wing with two sections? Yes, but the idea of a broken wing came to me as well. And so, the thing about people who come from victimhood is that, you know, when you come from victimhood, you can really use that. And there are people who really use this to gain advantage, right? And to get from others. And, there's no blame here, right? We're all just working through this life and learning and living it, right? To the best of our ability or not, but consciously or not. But, the thing is if a person doesn't feel worthy, it's true. People are traumatized. They really have gone through tough times, and especially now with the current economy, for example. There's also the people who get into a pattern of coming from victimhood. And deep within that, there's a lack of worthiness, a feeling that I'm not deserving, basically, quote in quotes. And then even beneath that is, maybe even an anger at God, or an anger at people around them, or an anger over whatever happened. And, getting to the kernel of the truth can be extremely painful and difficult. And so this broken wing idea kind of came to me, that this type of energy is being highlighted and that we have a chance to make new decisions here. I talked about that in my last two videos, both astrology and Schumann resonance, about having breakthroughs here.